Research on the brains of some people with BPD shows that their brains may be different than those of people without BPD. So MRI studies have shown that people with BPD may have problems with specific brain structures, and these brain problems then present as personality problems. They're not absolutes, okay, but let's look at 5 of these structures where we might see some differences. So first is the amygdala. That's a tiny almond-shaped deep brain structure that regulates emotions, especially negative emotions like fear, anxiety, aggression. It also links your emotions to your memories and your 5 senses. In someone with BPD, the amygdala may be smaller than it's supposed to be, which may translate into greater difficulty regulating those negative emotions. The second brain structure is the hippocampus. So that's another deep brain structure that's involved in memory, learning, and emotion. Its primary job is to hold short-term memories and transfer them to long-term storage in our brains. It also plays a role in emotional processing, including self-control, anxiety, and avoidance behaviors. In people with BPD, the hippocampus may be smaller than it's supposed to be, which could explain things like emotional reactivity and the avoidance of situations that may trigger that intense emotionality. The third structure is the frontal cortex, and it's involved in planning and decision making. It's also the primary location of impulse control in the brain. So the frontal lobe, right up here in the front, of someone with BPD shows less activation. Now, when the frontal lobe doesn't engage properly, we may see impulsivity. The fourth structure is we may also see an increase in the activity of the anterior cingulate gyrus, which sits just behind that frontal lobe. So it processes emotions and regulates behavior. Increased activation in this area may be behind things like emotional reactivity and splitting. And then a fifth thing that we may see in the brain of someone with BPD is that the orbitofrontal cortex is smaller than it should be. This part of the brain sits directly above the eyes and plays a role in planning and decision making. Problems in this area may show up as impulsivity or other poor choices. Now, this particular cortex has a hand in learning and regulates behavior in response to reward and punishment as well. This may show up in response to perceived abandonment or rejection when those things are viewed as punishments of some kind by someone with BPD. So, looking at these findings, what we still don't know for sure is whether these individuals were born this way, or if their traumatic experiences caused the brain changes. These areas are very similar to the brain areas implicated in PTSD. So the question is whether PTSD and BPD are causing the problems in the brain, or if the brain areas are creating the PTSD and BPD symptoms. I tend to think the traumatic experiences caused the brain changes because of the impact that early experiences can have on a developing brain. But that's just my opinion. So let me insert 2 caveats here. One is that these are not absolutes, as I said. That is, not every person with BPD may have brain anomalies such as these. The other caveat is that despite these findings, there's still hope that therapy and possibly medication can help people with brain anomalies regulate their behavior. If it's been wired, it can be rewired. As I always say, don't give up. And if you want help with the skills to manage your BPD symptoms, grab yourself a free subscription to my TikTok BPD skills group. Just tap that subscription link in my profile and I'll see you there.